So when you begin your bio for your ugly doll, I want you to think about the image that you're trying to create. You're doing a biography of some sort. And so looking at it, here are some examples of some Pokemon cards. And just see how it draws your attention in. You notice that they use the entire card and they have all these different graphics. So the main focus is the character itself. Obviously, it goes into a variety of different things. On the other side, from what I've been told, there are, little information about the character and how it progresses. But that's what I'm looking for when you're creating your bio. You want to have something that stands out. You want to utilize the entire page. And I'll show you a couple more examples to give you that idea. Okay, here's another example on the back of a toy for the Transformers. And this is the same for any other, it could be a doll, it could be cars with backstories, different things. But what I liked about this is you can see right here, it says the backstory. For nearly 25 years in all his incarnations, Bumblebee has represented all the best Autobots have to offer. So not in the way, they talk about the other characters, but it goes a little bit into his detail. And then it talks about his strength and intelligence, and then it goes into, this part here, strength and intelligence and rank, etc., etc. So the common thing that we're noticing is it draws you in. The entire thing is decorated. It gives you just a better idea of what the toy is about, and it makes you want to get it. So when you're coming up with your biography or backstory or the way you are creating your Google drawing for your ugly doll, try to think of ways that would make it visually appealing. That's one of the important key takeaways. And then also, what story would be something that a first grader, which is our target audience, would be interested in. So if you need to look up at home your favorite toy, or think, several of them are into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and obviously Pokemon, and some other different toys, just, look around and see what is something that interests them, and come up with a way to have that story, but then also using your entire page, make it visually appealing to them. And we'll go into how to do that shortly. Alright, so once you open up your Google Drive, you're going to go to New, okay, and you're going to go to the More button, and you're going to select Google Drawings. So once this opens up, I highly recommend that you come up with a title. It's easier to find. You could use this by saving it in your art folder. In your Google Drive, you'll notice that there is an art folder with your name, and it might just be easier to save it in there, so you can go back to wherever anything art is related is in that spot. And I'll show you how to share it with me later, so we can do our voting. But I would probably just name it Ugly Doll Bio, and then have your name. Okay? You can hit enter, and then that way it's saved and moving on. So right now you have this wonderful web background. You're not going to see the checkerboards, that's just the background for it. And the first thing that you need to bring in is you need to have your image of your ugly doll on your Chromebook, or you used an iPad and you saved it into your teacher folder on the Google Drive. So we've used that in the past where on the iPad you take the picture under camera, you save it to Google Drive, put it into the folder that is your classroom code, and then you can click on how to share it to your Google account. And that way not everybody's logging in and out on the iPads. So looking at my ugly doll, I really don't like the background. So what you can do is double click it. So again, if you double click it, you get this nice black box around it. And what you can do with that is you can minimize what you see, which is really nice. And it just makes it a little bit nicer. If you want to have it bigger, you can have it bigger. If you want to put your ugly doll on an angle, just move the little dot at the top. and that'll help you too. So some other things is you have the text boxes here. You have an image here. You can add a comment, but we're not doing comments on this part. You can add different shapes. So there are a variety of different things that you can use. You know, little speech bubbles, things that pop out. So once you click on it, then you just draw with it. And you can angle it however way you'd like. Whatever size you want to change the color. You can use any of these colors. Again, think of something that isn't too boyish, too girlish. It's kind of in between. You can go, if you're going for a girl theme, go with something bright and have it that way. For your line color, you can choose whatever color line you would like. If you want the thickness to be really thick, you can see how that changes it. And the other cool part is if you don't like this line, you can change it. You can make it dots and have it come like that. Again, if you want the dots, you can always change the thickness so the dots get bigger. If you don't like it, you do Command Z, and it goes back to whatever way you originally liked it. Or you go to Edit and you keep hitting Undo until you have it the way you want. So you can come up with, I'd like to have you do a name. So you can do this and type in the name in here. You can do a couple things. So I have a lot of really neat fonts that I downloaded, which easily you can do too. You just go to More Fonts, and Google has all the fonts here for you. So if there's a font that you're looking through and you're just like, I just don't see what I like, maybe you want to have one of these that pop up that looks interesting to you. Let's see here if there's something that I didn't pick. Maybe I want this quicksand. I just hit OK, and then I have my quicksand font here, and I come up with a name for my ugly doll. Maybe I name it Artsy Painter. Who knows? So that's too small, right? If it's a name, I really want it to be bold. Think of how big I want it to be. You can come up with a color. You know, you make this larger this way, and it'll fit. Probably want to have it centered. And you don't want it to take up too much of everything, but whatever way you're thinking. If she's an artsy painter sort of ugly doll, what I might, and I need to have my little bio, like what's my artsy painter story, I would then type in what type of story I am thinking of here and have that filled out. I would like to have at least 3 sentences, you know, 4 or so, but just come up with a nice story that's captivating and interesting. Something else that you can do is you go up to the Insert button and you click on Image. And if you have extra images, you can upload them here. So this is something that if you aren't able to get to your Drive or download folder, you can easily just go and choose from your downloads here. If you have something that you saved in your Google Drive, that's something that you can click on. If you click Search, it searches through Google and it searches through images that you're able to use and reuse. So sometimes there are images out on Google that you don't have a license to use, and it's not safe for you to use on anything that you create. You have to think of things that if somebody takes it, that's their property. So you want to keep that in mind when you're grabbing photos. So if I want to say I would like to do a art frame around my piece, I type in the art frame, and this gives me the colors that all of the variety. If I would really like to have something that's just purple, it will find different art frames that are just purple, which is really neat too. So you've got all sorts of different things. I'm going to stick with this one. I like the variety. And think of something that's kind of paint, fun, and different. This might look interesting. So if I select this, it's going to put it here. And what I can do is make it about the size. And see, it's a little too large. I'm going to make it the size of my entire piece. And this is where the fun part comes in, where you choose the order of it. So, let's see, it's not format. Arrange. So you're going to click on Arrange, and you're going to go to Order, and I'm going to send it all the way to the back. So when I send it all the way to the back, it's in the back, and now I can play with all of my other features. Like this, I would make this one smaller, probably change the color because I want it to stand out and be, you know, something different and easily readable. You know, whatever you think might work better. Let's go to 48. There we go. When you move this, it gives you this nice line to show it's centered, which is nice. And then I would move up my other part here. So again, I don't want to make my ugly doll too small because this is the center of the attention, right? So make sure when you're doing it, it might take you a little bit of time. I expect this to take some time to adjust and work the right way for you. You know, here for my other one, this large one in the back, I might actually make it larger. And it actually might fit a little bit better. So my order, I'm going to bring to front so I can play with it. And I might just make it even bigger if it'll let me. Sometimes it won't let you. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and then I'm going to, you can double click and then go to order that way as well. Send to back. There, that kind of fits a little bit better on my page. Okay. The only thing with this is you need to keep in mind where's the end of your picture. So you just want to think about that to help. So I can have different things here, and you can make that work so your entire thing's decorated to show you the preview of it. So you can see this is what it looks like. I made it large. Maybe I like that, maybe I don't like it. I don't like how that's cut off. You know, you can always go back and choose something different and keep insert and plain. But I want you to decorate, make sure you have the picture of your ugly doll, you have a title, and then you also have the description. Those are the key things. Make it very engaging and nice and easy to look at. And if you have questions, just let me know. I'll show you a finished product for a couple examples to help you with that. One last thing, if you need to find this rather quickly and you don't really remember where you put it, you can always star your drawing, and when you go into your Google Drive, you can click on Favorites, and that'll pop up for you too. I hope this helps.